Hello and welcome to the Museum of Gloucester on Sunday the 19th of October 2025. Thank you for joining us to commemorate 150 years since the death of one of Gloucester's most famous sons, Sir Charles Wheatstone. As you know, Sir Charles is incredibly important to us here at the museum and the city of Gloucester. Often underrated, undervalued, possibly undermarketed, Sir Charles was responsible for so many incredible inventions in the Victorian era, too many to name, and we're also very lucky to have many of the items here in our collection at the Museum of Gloucester. To commemorate this incredible anniversary, we thought rather than looking at some of the more obvious items in our collection, items that you probably know about already, we wanted to share with you this incredible item that we have that nobody else has and that makes Sir Charles even more special to the museum and to the city. So what we have in front of us is a rather beautiful maquette or model by the artist William Silver Frith, who is a contemporary of Sir Charles Wheatstone. Although born in Leicester, Frith's family moved to Gloucester in the early 1850s, and what was really important is that Frith made this plaster model in 1886 for a statue of Sir Charles that was never erected in the city. Now, this is something we would absolutely love to rectify here at the museum and working with the wonderful curators, Denis and Rebecca at the Brian May Archive of Stereoscopy. Who knows whether this is actually something that we could use as a model in the future. So this model is made of plaster, but it's been decorated with what I would say is a metallic paint to give the statue, or the maquette, a bronze look. And what Sir Charles is supposed to be doing in this model is actually resting his hand on the two-needle electric telegraph, which he invented in 1840. He's wearing his academic gown as Professor of Experimental Philosophy at King's College London. His tenure was 1834 to 1875. And unfortunately, obviously, he died in that year. But it's just a really beautiful model, and we're so lucky to have this in our collection. It's not often that these things actually do last when they're not actually created into the statue that they were supposed to be designed for. As you can see at the bottom of the statue, Sir Charles's name is written. He's standing, and the way he's looking down with a very serious expression. I like to think that Sir Charles wasn't as serious as he's made out to be, but it's great to see him as the man may have actually been in his working life. So we'll just take a little look around the statue as well. Knowing that this model is over 100 years old already, I think is really quite mind-blowing. And that we've been lucky enough to have it in our collection all this time, that has stood the test of time as well. Just moving around, just trying to zoom in on some of that incredible detail. You can see as we get a little bit closer, the painting slightly chipped in places and tiny bit of chipping on the end of the fingers there, but considering that's quite a easy part of the model that could have been damaged, I think it's in incredibly good condition. Just focusing in on the bottom where you can see the name, and then back up again to see this side of the statue as well. We're going to turn Sir Charles round now. May not be carrying him correctly. So what's really interesting to note is that even though this statue is made of plaster, it's actually quite heavy, incredibly heavy in fact. I had to be very careful handling it, with gloves of course, to turn him round. Really lovely to see the detail on the back of the model of the gown and the folds. I'm incredibly biased, but of course I think this would make an absolutely wonderful statue right in the centre of Gloucester. So now we're really coming in for the close-up. I think Frith has captured Sir Charles's expression perfectly. Looking at this, we get a little bit closer. You can actually almost see potentially what he's thinking. I sure will agree this is an absolutely beautiful model. And we are so incredibly fortunate and lucky to have this in the museum's collection. It's not been on display for quite a while, which is a shame because I think this would be a wonderful addition to our permanent collection. And the more people that can come and see it, the more people that are aware of Sir Charles and all the great work that he did, would be wonderful for him, for the city, and really help to support all the incredible work that the Brian May Archive of Stereoscopy and wonderful curators are doing to celebrate this great man. I hope you've enjoyed this film. It's been really fun making it, really great for myself to have a look at a collection that isn't often out. We're also going to take a few photographs, really up close detailed photographs at the end of this film that will also be available on the Charles Wheatstone website as well for you to view in detail. I hope you enjoyed that. It's really, really great for us to be able to get at a piece of collection that isn't often seen by members of the public, and great to have a look in a little bit more detail and what it represents for the great man himself and the city of Gloucester. I know that Rebecca and Denis from the Archive of Stereoscopy will be working incredibly hard on a website devoted to him, and so hopefully this film and some images we're going to take of the maquette in a moment will find its way on there for you to have a look at. But this just leaves me to say thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you've learned a little bit more about Sir Charles and enjoyed looking at the model. Any questions, do contact the museum at museum@gloucester.gov.uk or contact us via the website. Thank you very much for watching.